Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to explain about leadership, which is also the third function in management. In this chapter, there are a number of learning outcomes that we'll try to achieve. Firstly, I will explain the definition of leader and leadership, and after that, we will compare and contrast some early leadership theories. The other learning outcomes I will explain in the next video, so don't forget to watch them. So first, let's look at the definition of leader and leadership. A leader is regarded as someone who can influence others and who has managerial authority. Having good leaders is very important because when leaders are effective, the influence they have over others helps a group or organization achieves its performance. On the other hand, leadership is the process of leading a group and influencing that group to achieve its goal. Effective leadership increases an organization's ability to meet all their challenges, including the need to obtain competitive advantage and the need to manage a diverse workforce effectively. Because leading is one of the 4 management functions, ideally all managers should be leaders, and they should be good leaders. Okay, so now let's compare and contrast some early leadership theories. So here we can see that there are 3 approaches to leadership. We have the first one, the generic leadership, which focuses on the traits and the behaviors of the leaders. The second one, we have the situational leadership study, which focuses on the situation that the leaders face. In this leadership study, we have the Fiedler model, the situational leadership theory, and the path goal theory. And lastly, we have the alternative approach to leadership, which can be regarded as the contemporary approach to leadership. So here we will focus on charismatic leadership, transformational, strategic, and cross-cultural leadership. In the generic study of leadership, the first one we have the trait theory. The trait theory of leadership focuses on identifying the personal characteristics that cause effective leadership. This theory suggests that effective leadership must have certain personal qualities or characteristics that set them apart from ineffective leaders or from non-leaders. After many years of research and hundreds of studies have indicated that certain personal characteristics do appear to be associated with effective leadership. These traits differentiate leaders from non-leaders. There are 8 traits that are associated with effective leadership, namely drive, desire to lead, honesty and integrity, self-confidence, intelligence, job-relevant knowledge, extraversion, and proneness to guilt. As we can see here, these are the 8 traits related to effective leadership. The first one is drive. Drive here means that the leader should be able to move towards achieving the goals. They should have high desire for achievement, ambitious, have lots of energy, and always persistent in their activities, and show lots of initiative towards achieving the goals. The second one is desire to lead. Of course, we should have leaders that have strong desire to influence and lead others, as we cannot force somebody to be leaders. They should have the willingness to take responsibility by their own. Third one is honesty and integrity. Leaders should also build trusting relationships with followers by being honest and show high consistency between words and deeds. Fourth is self-confidence. This is also important as followers always look for leaders who have high self-confidence in order to convince them and show them the right decisions. Fifth is intelligent. This is also important as leaders need to be intelligent enough to create visions, to solve problems, and make correct decisions for the organization. The sixth one is job-relevant knowledge. Effective leaders should also have high degree of knowledge about all the elements inside and outside of the company. okay, within the company, the industry, the technical matters, and many others. This knowledge will help the leaders to make well-informed decisions and to understand the implication of those decisions. The seventh trait is extraversion. Extraversion here means the leaders should be lively people. They are friendly, sociable, and can easily mingle with other people. And the last one is proneness to guilt. Guilt proneness is also positively related to leadership effectiveness because it produces a strong sense of responsibility for others. So usually for leaders who have proneness to guilt, they will likely feel guilty if they are not able to fulfill their responsibility. So here are the 8 traits that's related to effective leadership. However, traits alone are not the key to understanding leaders' effectiveness. Explanation based solely on traits usually ignore the interaction of leaders and their group members as well as situational factors. Therefore, researchers begin looking at what effective leaders do, or in other words, the behaviors that allow effective leaders to influence their subordinates to achieve group and organizational goals. So next, we will focus more on the behavioral theories of leadership. In the behavioral theories of leadership, we have some very famous studies done by different universities, such as the University of Iowa, the Ohio State, the University of Michigan, and the Managerial grade. Let's look at the first one. The Iowa Studies of Leadership identified different styles of leadership, and this study was very influential and established 3 major leadership styles. The 3 leadership behaviors or styles are known as autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. The democratic style tends to involve employees in decision-making, delegates authority, encourages participation in deciding work methods, and uses feedback to coach employees. On the other hand, an autocratic style tends to centralize authority and dictate work methods, so it's more strict compared to the democratic style. Authoritarian leaders usually provide clear expectation for what needed to be done, when it should be done, and how it should be done. And the laissez-faire leader generally gives employee complete freedom. Laissez-faire leaders usually offer little or no guidance at all to the group members and left decision-making up to the group members. So, which one of the 3 leadership styles you think will be most effective? Well, democratic leadership style could contribute to both quantity and high quality of work. In addition, decision-making was less creative under authoritarian leadership compared to democratic leadership. However, autocratic leadership is best applied to situations where there is little time for group decision-making or where the leader is most knowledgeable member of the group. Laissez-faire leadership was the least effective of all 3. Moreover, the members of their groups made more demands on them, showed little cooperation, and the group members were usually unable to work independently. In these slides, we can see some of the benefits of autocratic leadership as well as the benefits of democratic leadership. Next, we have study from the Ohio State University, which identified 2 basic kinds of leaders' behavior that many leaders engage to influence their employees. These behaviors are known as consideration and initiating structure. Consideration here refers to being considerate of followers' ideas and feelings. Usually, leaders engage in consideration when they show their subordinates that they trust, respect, and care about them. While initiating structure, in this behavior, leader will structure work and work relationships to meet job goals. Usually, leaders engage in consideration when they take steps to make sure that works get done, employees perform their jobs acceptably, and the organization is effective and efficient. Usually, high leader, high here means high in consideration and high in initiating structure, will achieve high employees' performance and satisfaction, although not in all situations. Apart from the Iowa and the Ohio study, we also have studies from the University of Michigan and the Managerial grade. The Michigan leadership studies identified the leadership styles that produce the highest employee satisfaction and productivity. Two dimensions of leadership behavior were identified. They are employee-oriented and production-oriented. Employee-oriented leaders emphasize interpersonal relations, took a personal interest in employees' needs, and usually accept individual differences among members. While production-oriented leaders emphasize the technical aspect of the job. They focus more on task-oriented activities. In this study, they strongly favored leaders who were employee-oriented compared to production-oriented. The study also identified that employee orientation with general supervision will produce more favorable results compared to production orientation and direct supervision. Okay, so lastly, we have the managerial grade. This is a two-dimensional view of leadership, where the leadership style is based on concern for people and concern for production. They measure the leader's concern for people and production using a scale from 1 to 9. So in this study, they conclude that leaders will perform the best with a 9 to 9 star, which means leaders with high concern for production and high concern for people will be the best. Okay guys, so that is basically the generic study that we have in leadership. So don't forget to watch the next video for more explanation on this topic. And thanks for watching.